Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos podcast.
I need it!
Hey, how are you?
This is amazing.
What's good, everybody? Undercover Brotha back in the building for another episode of the Bromigos podcast, episode 68. I got the brothers with me today, and we got a whole lot to say. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
Sushi Man, holding it down as always.
Our favorite hater.
And it is Panama Red. What's happening, people? Listen, before we say anything, okay? Before we say anything, I need to say this to Hoochie Man. Hoochie Man, you my man, bro. My guy. I'm saying I rock with you. Okay, always. But how dare you? I wish Panama was here so I could talk some shit. First of all, let me say something, okay? You can never stop my love for the fucking Eagles. Nobody can. All right. Number two, and I've said this a few times to a few different people. Anyone who thought that the Eagles were going to do anything, check your mental health. For like 5 weeks, we were ass. Somebody asked me, "Oh, what do you think? How the probability of the Eagles winning a playoff game?" I was like, none, bro. Like, let's be real. They look garbage, whereas the Cowboys,
B-word!
Nah, me and B-word is the meme god. Okay, first of all, shout out to B-word. B-word, yo, the meme. He sent me this Step Brothers meme, and instead of you've seen the movie Step Brothers, where it was Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. It was pretty funny. I gotta show it to you. It's pretty funny.
I saw him post that. I got B-word's meme game is top tier. I see him post wild stuff in group chats all the time. But
fuck you, Hoochie.
Yeah, Hoochie's just a hater. We gotta address this shit. Like I was joking with him before you came in, Mike. It's like I'm starting to call him Hater Man Hunter now because Hoochie's just hating everybody.
Just different.
Not everybody.
I mean, Eagles fans. This is you in the last several months. Let's just be honest.
Yep.
Eagles fans, Browns fans, women.
Not all. It's one woman. One woman. It doesn't. I don't have a problem with.
Are we gonna ignore the fact that for weeks you went on how like hater rants on women? Come on, this was weeks ago, but still, are we just gonna ignore that fact that you just like talking shit on women for no reason?
It was one woman. I don't like her. All right.
I'm not just talking about the one woman though.
It's because of my wording. This is why women should stay in the kitchen. Yeah, well, you know what? I might have crossed the line with that one. I don't mean all women, though. I meant just that one woman individual.
What were you going to say, Mike?
This is the evolution of Hoochie here, right? We used to have, baby Hoochie, and now all of a sudden it's gone through a metamorphosis here. He's just spitting fire everywhere. Just everybody. Everybody gets
what is Dante?
I ain't holding back.
What does Dante call it? His toxic phase. Hoochie Man is in his toxic phase. He needs to listen to more 100%. Drake.
No, man, I've been put through some pain, dog. I've been quiet for too long. Fuck that shit.
You listen to some DMX. What these bitches want from a nigga. You know
Amen.
Fuck that Drake shit. All that light skin. See, that's Dante's light skin. That's why. Says that weird shit. I don't want to hear that.
I now officially know that there's only one Drake song out of his entire discography that I actually like. And that's the one from the latest album, which is that first person shooter one.
Wait. Oh, hold on. See, now I'm not the biggest Drake fan, okay? But that's the one song you like?
That's the one I think I've other than wait, hold on, I'm wrong. I actually just remembered there's another one that he's involved in as a feature, which was Forever. That's like the only other one I like. I never gotten into Drake. I don't know what it is. I tried going into that album with an open mind, as I always do with any new album or new artist. I try to, because I've been listening to a lot of new music lately. So I try to go in with an open mind, but a lot of it wasn't hitting for me. Honestly.
This is just water, by the way.
Are you sure about that?
100%. I haven't drank in who knows God. No, I don't even know. I don't really drink anymore.
You don't really
Fuck it,
drink
yeah.
anymore?
No. Mm-mm.
You really are a
Not at
changed
all.
man.
Yeah, I don't even really drink that often. I still take my medicine, but I don't drink.
Now hold on.
Not my
Now when you
thing.
say medicine, are we talking a little puff puff pass or
My medicine, man. I just call it my medicine. Just take my medicine. You know what I'm saying? When I'm an
so
old
basically
man, I take my medicine.
basically what
That's
you're
it.
saying is the whole I gave up weed for 30 days was a farce and I'm just going to be like, "Okay, nope, never mind, back to the weed."
I just take my medicine. But hold on, back to the point here, right? So you don't like starting from the bottom? You don't like that?
I remember hearing it when it came out. It just
Hold on.
it didn't appeal to me. I don't know what it was. I also wasn't that big into rap at that time. Like I had people I
Okay,
like.
that
I had
makes
songs
sense.
that I liked. I just wasn't that big into rap. And then like when I started listening to a lot more of the old stuff, because everybody makes a joke, I don't listen to anything past 95 apparently. Um,
That's okay. I
it's
mean,
just
the 2000s is a great era of hip hop.
oh no, like I that's why I say I listened to stuff before 2005. But it's just like because that's the type of music that was coming out that I genuinely enjoy. I don't say I would relate to because there was a lot of hood shit going on. And look at my fucking complexion, for Christ's sake.
That's
But
okay.
I don't
Just
know. Just
because you pasty as fuck doesn't mean you can't appreciate hip hop.
I'm glad you said that because I feel like sometimes there are people, black people specifically, not to call any of you guys out, that feel like they gatekeep rap for that reason. Is it just me, or do you ever notice that?
I
I don't
mean,
see it all the time, but I see it occasionally.
so I think there are people just like there are black people who are trying to gatekeep like dreads and shit, dreadlocks and things like that. We have to let people appreciate the culture as long as they're not trying to, profit from it in malicious ways. I think we have to let people appreciate the culture. Like I'm not entirely of the culture. Like I live in, as people know, I'm Panamanian. It's difficult. But as a black man, I think we should just let people enjoy the culture. That's how they can learn, change their ignorance, have different viewpoints. Just gotta allow it. Like you appreciate hip hop. I appreciate that you appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that Hoochie likes some of it. Oh, country ass. Fuck you, Hoochie.
Title of the
Um,
episode: "Fuck you, Hoochie."
but yeah, I think that's the only way to actually learn more about each other. Music's a great way to learn about each other. To understand, maybe it leads to a path of understanding. But nah, fuck that shit. Enjoy the shit. Enjoy it. I
Yeah,
just
I
think there's
mean,
more Drake songs that you should like, sir.
I listen. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try some of the hits and see if it changes my mind. But mostly I've been getting into a different kind of music, which is like, what's it called? Metalcore. That's what it's called. It's some people will call it the screaming music or whatever. It's not all screaming. It's
Okay.
actually
That one. Oh.
see. But you know what? Here's the thing. I have a few friends that I talk to on Twitter a lot, and they've been helping me find new stuff. And it's actually really what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
Helpful.
helpful mentally and emotionally because brother's been having a rough time and when I listen to a lot of stuff, I listen to the message in there, it's like shit, that's the type of stuff that like makes me feel like I'm not alone. I don't know if you guys had heard the Delvin Cox episode that I had released, what was it, yesterday now, even though we're recording this on Friday. But mentally I was having a tough time and listening to that kind of music, even though it's not all screaming and all growling, which I don't care for all that much either, admittedly. It's still, the message is still there, you know? It's just delivered in a way that could be a turnoff depending on if you're new or coming into it or not. That's all I have to say.
So I'm a music guy. I like when I tell you I'm a music guy, I'm a music guy.
Oh, I know you
I
are. You've talked about it.
love all kinds of music, everything. Listen, as a person that truly enjoys, like, what's this? Deftones. One of my favorite songs by Deftones is "Shove It." It's called "Shove It."
You do
Fucking love
not
it.
look like a Deftones guy to me.
Fucking
The
love.
fact that
See,
you say that blows my mind.
that's what I'm saying. I'll jump from Deftones to I like Muse. You know what I'm
Use is
saying?
good.
I like all different. See, people wouldn't know this. I listen to everything, bro. Everything. I can't get behind that, man. You're saying there's a message. I'm sure the message, and I'm glad you found the means of a healthy way to find a way to feel better. But I can't even hear the message. All I hear is the.
See, but
I can't hear
the
anything.
bands that I have heard, there's been a few that I have heard. Beartooth is one. I Prevail is another. I don't know if you know them. And there's been another, maybe like 2 or 3 others that I've listened to that I can't think off the top of my head. And yes, like I said, there is that sort of stuff, but it's actually like the more, what's the word? Digestible type, where it's not like constantly. And even the songs that they have where it's constant yelling and growling, that's not for me. Like I'll listen to it once and I'm like, yeah, I can't get through this for that reason. I understand what you're saying in that regard. But like I said,
what do you think about Skillet?
Old Skillet had some good songs. Old Skillet had good songs. I don't really know what the hell they're doing now. I haven't listened to them since like 2015 or whatever.
Wow. That long.
It's been a long time. Getting some feedback somewhere. But anyway, by the way, I got something I want to talk to you guys about. Sorry for the bad segue, but this is something I've been, before I forget. We've all been following the sports scene in some regard, right? What are our thoughts on this Josh Giddey thing, man? There's been a lot of news about that the last few days. Because there's a couple of things. I pulled up some articles, if I may. Apparently, the police in Newport Beach, they said they're not going to pursue any charges against Oklahoma City guard Josh Giddey after closing an investigation into allegations that he had improper relationship with an underage girl, according to the statement this past Wednesday. Like, we all know he did it, right? Like, we all could admit that he did it, but for some reason he didn't get charged with it. I'm so perplexed by this whole thing. I don't even know what to feel. I'm surprised he was even still playing during this whole investigation. What is everybody's opinion on this? If you've been following the situation?
So I'm going to say this because when it comes out that the cooperating parties don't cooperate with the police in their investigation, then it's like, oh well, he's okay. He did nothing wrong then. It was just allegations. But then people are starting to think, oh, maybe he paid off the girl that he was having the relationship with, or mom, dad, whatever. But I did see that, yeah, they closed the case there, but the NBA has opened up another case.
Yes,
again.
I was going to segue into that, but Mike, what do you think before I move into that part?
Hunter said what I think. In order to charge somebody with something, you got to get people to cooperate. If they're not willing to cooperate, whether or not we think it happened, doesn't really matter.
That is true. I'm convinced something did happen, or else. But I also don't know why they wouldn't cooperate.
Feel that way? What makes you feel that way?
I don't know.
Like
I read the discourse about it on both sides, and I kind of feel the same way about the Trevor Bauer thing. The way I feel about the Josh Giddey thing is kind of similar how I feel about the Trevor Bauer thing, where it's like, I think the girl in the Josh Giddey case allegedly not cooperating shows a red flag to some degree, as if maybe she didn't let on that she was underage. Who knows? And then the thing with Trevor Bauer, where the girl could have allegedly faked the abuse. But it also doesn't. But on the flip side of that, the double-edged sword that I'm thinking, or the other side of the coin, I should say, there probably still was some disgusting shit going on, regardless of whether or not what they were being accused of was true or not. Who knows? I mean, that's just how I look at it from discourse I see online. And, there's some reputable sources that I've read. There's some not. Other people just spewing their opinions based on whatever they think is the truth. That's why I can't recall off the top of my head, but I remember seeing a lot of threads about it not a while back. It's too far for me to go back and check.
A reputable source would be the people themselves, right? That's a reputable source, right? So if the people themselves aren't saying anything, we can sit here and have discourse about it all we want. We can sit here and speculate, well, she's not cooperating. What reason does she have not to cooperate? What reason does she have to cooperate? We don't know anything. So we can I don't have an opinion on it. Like initially I did, but if he had done something wrong, somebody would be saying something. Somebody somewhere would be saying something. Her friends ain't saying nothing. Parents ain't saying nothing. See, so it's not up to me in this situation. And normally I have an opinion on everything. Y'all know me. I talk a lot. But I don't feel any kind of way about it. If she's good and he's good, and that's probably why he's been playing. Because if there was something, he would not be playing. Let's be real.
So why is it now that the NBA is deciding to get involved and do an investigation on their own part? Because
they're getting involved again. They initially opened it up, and then the police from what was it, California, like Long Beach police, whoever police out there, Newport Beach. They took control of it, and then after they didn't do anything, then the NBA is like, all right, well, let's see what we can do and what guidelines it falls under for NBA regulations, like I don't know, rules they broke, possible fine, suspension, who knows.
Well, they did say, and I'm looking at an article here by the Oklahoman, which is for obviously where the Thunder play, Oklahoma City. Adam Silver did say the league would wait until the police investigation concluded before they decided to take any action. And there's a quote that says, "I think if you look back, I can't think of many circumstances where we've suspended a player based on an allegation alone. So we have an allegation, and then you have a police investigation and a parallel league investigation. So I guess this, obviously, from what it seems like, this was their plan all along, to just wait it out and do their own thing. I feel like a lot of the times that's what people do. And I've mentioned this before, or it's like when wrestling had this whole outing thing going on of abusers and pests and things of that nature. A lot of the times, the investigations from the police would be taken care of, and then the companies would step in and decide what they need to do with the people that were in question. And a lot of them did lose their jobs, which is good because no one needs that shit in their company, especially publicly traded companies. So, but that's all I really have to say about that. Then you have guys like that one baseball player a couple of weeks ago that was literally having what's it called?
Wander
Franco. You hear about that, Mike?
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yes. See, there's situations like the Josh Giddey thing where he may not have known. This guy knew what he was doing and has openly defended it.
Yeah.
I saw that. Listen, a friend of mine on Twitter, my friend Ash, fucking said something about that. And I was like, I felt sick to my stomach. I saw some quotes. I saw like a whole thread of quotes and things that on the report of it. I felt sick to my stomach. I was like, this motherfucker. And he ran. He ran to the fucking, what's it called? Dominican Republic or Haiti, wherever the hell he was from, just to escape police until they got him. Like, bro.
Yeah, that's a cochinada right there. That's disgusting, bro.
That's a fucked up individual.
Yeah. Not to mention, this comes after he signed an 11-year contract worth almost $200 million. So,
what team did he play for again?
The Rays, Tampa Bay.
Oh, well.
Scheduled to appear back in court in the Dominican Republic on January 30th. So we'll know more about that then. But yeah, like that guy, he willingly knew. And that's he's only 22. And Josh Giddey's what, 21? Gosh, these young guys are getting themselves in some deep bullshit. Yeah, Josh Giddey's 21.
What'd you say, Mike?
My man said these young guys.
These young guys. Motherfucker.
These young criminals. These thugs.
These hooligans.
These wingnut McSpazatrons. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, we need a jail sound effect for that because that's just disturbing.
Double jail. They both need to go to jail.
Jail's deactivated at the moment.
Jail's deactivated?
Well, no wonder why it's deactivated. They're both still out on the loose.
It's not a Bromigos episode without the jail sound effect. What the hell, Mike?
Yeah, man, it's broken.
You broke the button from hitting it so much?
No, it's not broken. Hell no. You crazy? Me break something? Well, I do break things. Whatever. Nah, it's all right.
Anyway, what's going on? So, like, it's been a couple weeks since we've seen you, though, Mike. What's been anything new with you, kid? Obviously, you
Uh,
still got the kid coming on. How's that working out?
yeah, that's still good, man. That's still great. Baby's healthy. Baby apparently has long legs and shit, so she
Wait,
might be
what?
tall like her daddy. Yeah, yeah, because you could, you could see
Well,
that
I know you
shit.
have the ultrasound, but I didn't know you can actually tell if the baby had
Yeah,
long
apparently
legs.
they can tell now. I don't know. Apparently they can tell now. So we know.
What was your son's reaction when he found out? Have you told him yet?
Yes, I have told my son. My son's reaction was exactly what I hoped it would be. Joy. He was happy. He can't wait because he's been asking for a long time for a sibling. So he is he is overjoyed, this little man.
Can, can
Can't
I
wait.
can I ask you something? And this is not to disparage in any way, but like obviously some people nowadays, because the whole baby daddy thing is a big talk I see on social media. Like, does it
Yeah.
ever? Do you think it'll ever bother you if someone says something like, "Oh, you got two baby mamas" or whatever the fuck?
No. Why should
No.
it?
No,
No.
I'm just asking because I feel like some people get all up in arms about it from discourse that I
Um,
see online.
so whether or not it is that you marry someone and have children and divorce, or you're dating someone and you get her pregnant, and well, either way, who the fuck cares? Like, I first of all, I am her baby daddy. Like, I don't, it is what it is. But does that mean that you can't have more children? Does that mean that you know? I don't understand the negativity behind being someone's baby daddy. Now, being a deadbeat father, that's something where you should, address. People worried about being somebody baby mama or baby daddy. You should worry about being a good parent, being a fucking good role model for your kids. Got all these little shithead running around. Be better parents. That's what. I mean, we're so worried about pointing fingers and judging other people that we don't take the time to just evaluate ourselves. Check out where we are. How are we good mentally? Are we good physically? We're so busy looking outward, focus on everyone else. What your neighbor has, how your neighbor doing, what this country's doing, what that country's doing. Focus on you. So, and that's truly how I feel about it. Like I've gone through this. Earlier I mentioned that Hoochie went through this metamorphosis. I'm going through one myself.
I can tell you seem very zen. It's not it's unlike you. I'm not used to this very zen you.
Yeah, I'm going through one myself. I've been doing a lot of I don't know. I've rediscovered my love for reading. Um, and then I've been very deep in trying to learn about being a better dad.
Are you like
I had
reading like parenting books or something? Or
see, I can't read parenting books, so I watch a lot of TikTok's
okay,
everybody know Panama and TikTok. I love TikTok,
Panama.
but
If it's one addiction you still have, it's
yeah,
TikTok for sure.
I fucking love TikTok, and I'm on a lot of parenting. I'm on the parenting side of TikTok, especially with newborns, because I have a son, but due to circumstances and situations of life, I wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there. I wasn't allowed to go through the entire process of having a newborn and experiencing that growth that one experiences as a parent and as a man. Learning how to you become a man. That shit makes you either gonna break or you're gonna be a man. You know what I'm saying? So um it's just I want to be the best dad I can be for my baby girl. So that's really where I've been at. Trying to, how can I make myself better? How can I do better? So that's why you see I'm very just, normally I'd be like, blah, blah, blah,
I think
just
I think it also depends on the subject matter. Like this is kind of more of a chiller episode today. Like
nah,
it hasn't
even with
really has. Go ahead.
even
Sorry.
with even with Hoochie and he was talking shit about the Eagles. I could have came out here and said, you know what, fuck you, Hoochie. I just
Well, you did technically.
not like in the typical fashion and manner that I would. Normally I come out here and just spit hot fire, Dylon, Dylon, Dylon. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just I'm trying to just do better and be better.
I'm kind of in that same boat, to be honest. I mentioned the music stuff I was doing earlier. A lot of what I've been doing these last few months in regards to some previous activities, or not activities, but how do I word this properly? Previous statements that I may or may not have made in the past. I've been struggling to heal from things and the people I have hurt because of it. And this past week, I reached out to one of those people who I felt I had wronged and I had hurt. And regardless of how things broke down initially, whether or not any of us agree with how it went down or not, because I'm sure you know what I'm referencing or trying to reference. Over time, something in here affected me. I felt like I had hurt my friend. So I reached out to them and we had a very honest conversation. And I think I finally had gotten the closure I was looking for all these months. Excuse me. And a lot of that comes from having conversations with you off mic, Mike, and having conversations with guys like Delvin, because Delvin has been someone that has been in my corner trying to help me grow and be better and be respectful about it. And, it was rough. I don't know if you get, like I said, I'll link it down in the description for anybody who listens to our show that wants to listen to my Delvin episode that just dropped about mental health and such. It's a really rough listen, but when it dropped, I had a period of self-reflection over the course of the last 3 days or so that has been nothing short of a mental, emotional roller coaster to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed. But I think I'm finally on the right track, gentlemen. It took long enough, but
hell yeah, man. Listen, doesn't matter. Listen, if doesn't matter how many times you fall down, bro. Doesn't matter. What matters is you keep on. You get up, fall flat on your face. Go ahead. You need to cry. Go ahead, man. Cry. I think more men should cry. We live in a society where we're asked to be tough guys. We're asked to be strong all the fucking time. Man, listen. Do I think men should be men? Yes, there are periods where you want to look at a stereotypical macho man. There are times where you need that. But we're not look at our fucked up look at our parents that came up before us. Like, look at society how it was. Look how they're doing mentally, trying to be tough all the time, not allowing yourself to feel and cry. We talk about it all the time, the mental health of men and how men are committing suicide at alarming rates. Cry if you need to cry, bro. But you know what? Once you're done, you're dragging through the mud, get up. Okay, get the fuck up.
Well, Lord knows I did a lot of the crying the last several days, but
that's okay. That's okay, bro.
Wow, this is tougher to talk about than I thought for some reason.
It's all right. It's all right. Sometimes you gotta let it out. Let it out. Hoochie, man, how you doing, bro? You still hating women and shit, man? How's your mental health doing? I need to know because I haven't spoken.
I'm taking it day by day because I got something similar going on with a friend of mine. But I'm at the point now where it's like, the phone works both ways. I'm not going to keep going back and checking up on you if you're just not going to answer or just look at my messages and then just do nothing. Like, phone works both ways. If you want to go back and answer, go ahead. I'm just going to let you do you. I'm going to do me.
Sometimes, and I don't know this particular situation of this person, sometimes there are people that just become so overwhelmed that they just kind of involuntarily ghost. I know people like that. I have friends that are like that. I don't take it personally because I know that's how it is. It's unfortunate, and I wish I can talk to them, and I wish I can help them. But maybe, and again, I might be completely wrong on that situation, but it's could be a possibility. Maybe it's not that they're trying to ignore you. It's just that they feel like that maybe they want to be left alone for whatever reason, and then they'll get back to you when they feel like they need to. I don't know. This is not the first I've heard something like this. So,
well, just we'll try next month or 2 months from now or whatever.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mike. If let me just get this out. The important part is to not be overbearing about it. I would say that's the only advice I could give you is to wait a period of like a month at a time and see what happens. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks if at the earliest. That's just my advice to you.
Yeah, it's just like something similar happened last year, and I gave it about a month or so, and they were fine. But I don't know, it's just happening more often now, and it just like I overthink a lot. Okay, and I'm like,
Don't
did
we
I
all?
say something wrong? What did I do now? What did I say this time? And I didn't even say anything wrong. We were just talking about like work related shit, and then all of a sudden it was just silence. I was like, okay, no, it is what it is. We'll just move on about our business. And
How long have you known this friend?
about close to 2 years, maybe somewhere
Okay.
around there.
So as someone that is the type of person that just gets overwhelmed with shit and just doesn't want to be bothered, it could just be that. I have friends who are annoyed with me because they text, and I don't answer. And I see the messages. I do. I look at them, I read them, and then I put the phone back down because I just don't. It's not like it doesn't mean any disrespect or anything like that. It's just, you know, some people just like Matt mentioned, sometimes you just get caught up in your own shit and life and people get busy. Um, what I will also add to that is if he values your friendship or he or she, I don't know, whatever, this person values your friendship, they'll get back to you. I'm an overthinker too, man. Believe it or not.
We
I have a
all
brain,
are. All of
I have
us
a
are.
brain that it's nonstop. It's literally nonstop. It's so annoying. But sometimes you just gotta, when you catch yourself doing it too much, hey, motherfucker, chill, nigga, what you doing? And just, dial it in. Just reel it in, man. I'm sure it's not what you think it is. And if it is, fuck it. It's their loss. If it is, it's their loss. I'm sure that it's not. But I think you're a cool motherfucker, Hoochie. And I felt that way since the beginning. So
Listen.
Even if I hate on women.
Or the Eagles.
Or anything for that matter, yeah.
Fuck you, Hoochie.
I think this is real. We don't do this shit. I know this is kind of a serious episode today, and we're usually very upbeat, lighthearted, and stuff. But I'm really glad that we're kind of having these types of conversations, man. I feel like we don't do that enough. We should.
I think everyone should. Listen, my friends will tell you. Everyone that knows me. So I've said a lot of wild shit on this podcast. I've said a lot.
We all have, Mike.
Oh yeah.
But I want people to understand that I am the person that you could call if you're going through some shit. And I make myself available to my friends. Not all the time because I am my own person. But if I notice that anyone that I is close to me, they're having a hard time, I'll help them. Sometimes we have people like to wait, like, oh, I'll just wait till they say something. Not everyone's like that. Not everyone can just come to you and say, hey, I'm having a problem. Can you help me out? Sometimes you just gotta you see something, talk to a person because you never know what that person's thinking and going through and what they're planning or not planning. You know what I'm saying? You could help someone just by asking. So people out there, don't leave. Just watch your loved ones, man. That shit's and be kind to one another. Like I don't like Cowboy fans, but if I saw one, if I saw one, yeah, I rock with B word. If I saw one in distress, I would wait 2 minutes and then ask them if they were okay. And give them 2 minutes to suffer.
That's kind of like what I did when the Eagles lost. I'm like, oh shit, I better check on Mike. I'm sure he's losing.
No, there was nothing to check on, bro. People did so much so that no one really said anything other than B word and maybe like 2 other people. No one really said anything because who expected them to do anything? So if someone would have said anything, or if you would have said anything, I probably wouldn't even responded. I would be like, "This idiot, what the fuck?" And like, what?
Listen, I was telling Hunter before you came in. I was just like, I could talk shit because I was the outside looking in guy, but I was like, you know what? It's not even worth it. I mean, I barely watched any football this year anyway to even have an opinion on anything. So it's like, what do I care personally.
Yeah.
So I've been watching more of the other football, which
Yeah.
we're getting to that second half of the season. We're in that second half of the season, baby.
You got to give me 5 seasons of and suffering of being a Liverpool fan before I take you serious. You know,
I
that's like
suffer from watching VAR every fucking game. What are you talking about?
nah, you listen. I've been suffering since like 2007. Okay,
You guys were winning championships and all throughout the early
Yeah.
2000s. Give me a break.
It's like someone discovering football and then all of a sudden saying, "I'm a man. I'm a City fan. I'm a Madrid fan." Like I don't take Madrid fans serious at all. Like you just went, "Oh, I want them."
I don't take Arsenal fans serious. That's this team.
I do. Arsenal fans have gone through some suffering, man. I mean, they're soft as baby shit, but they've been going through some shit.
Shout out
You
Mitch
know?
on the Wait What podcast.
Yeah, they've been going through some shit. I've watched them suffer, so I
like watching them suffer.
I feel their pain. You know,
there's franchises I enjoy seeing suffer. It's Arsenal, or at least right now, I enjoy Arsenal suffering, especially recently. I enjoy, with all due respect, Mike, United fans suffering. City. I want to say they suffer. I don't even want to say they suffer because they still win. Like they're doing okay right now. Like they may even win the league again this year for all I know.
I can't take. That's like saying all of a sudden, you know, when you don't like any teams from fucking New England, but when Tom Brady started winning Super Bowls, all of a sudden you live in goddamn Florida, but you're a Tampa Bay, you're a New England fan.
First of all, I'm not Dante. Well, Dante was never a New England fan. He was a Tom Brady fan. But
Dante, I think Dante is a Kobe fan. Dante liking Kobe and liking the team because of that makes sense. Okay, you didn't like Salah or none of them before you liked Liverpool.
I knew of them though by watching the World Cups.
Stop it.
I did, Mike. I've been watching the World Cup since I was in middle school. I just never got into it until in recent years. Which now I enjoy the sport. I do. Fuck, I'm even watching lacrosse for no goddamn reason because nothing else for me to watch on TV. But watching professional lacrosse, like that's how down bad I am with sports because half the time my teams are shit. Well, some of them are.
Well, I mean, I feel you. My teams aren't all shit, but I feel you. But I can't. You got to give me another 5 years and at least 3 seasons of suffering before I take you serious as a Liverpool.
Listen, you may not take me serious now, but I will say that in the time as brief it is, which is the last few years, I have enjoyed being a fan of the team and watching the team grow and have different iterations. And I enjoy learning about the players that are on the field. Like I like watching guys like Gomez, who's been on a really great defensive tear ever since Simicast got hurt. Van Dyke, Alexander Arnold, at least that's defenders. Nunez still pisses me off. And Diaz, I hope finally comes back after having a rough couple of months. Because he had a few goals recently.
Let me stop really quick. As a fan of the beautiful game, I can appreciate the fact that you, especially you as an American, like the game. Okay, I can appreciate that. I just want you to understand that because I think if more Americans, the game's not that hard to follow. It really isn't. So, but the fact that you were just like, okay, I'm a fan. I'm gonna choose a team that's winning right now. That's what it feels like. I'm gonna choose a team that's winning right now. Like how I started liking United. I liked Beckham. I liked Beckham.
Okay, fair.
Right, and Beckham was the reason that drew me in. Then once Cristiano Ronaldo started playing there, I when I played in high school and college, mainly in college, I wanted to be just like him. When I played club soccer, I wanted to be just like him. That's why I emulated my game after because I was quick. So I tried to do the same little. I was nowhere near as good as efficient. Like Ronaldo chop, I could do that shit. To this day, I can still do that.
Can I ask you a question then? How do you feel about Ronaldo's exit from United? Because it was very messy from what I remember.
So it's very complicated how I feel about it because Ronaldo is my all-time favorite player, right? So I want to side with him, but at the same time, Manchester United is in such a horrible place at the moment that I feel as though people need to start respecting the manager, right? And I
They definitely
think
don't respect the manager.
part of, and no, it doesn't seem that way. And part of him trying to send a message was, I'll even get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo if he doesn't fall in line, right? I don't know whether or not, because, you know, everybody has speculates as to what exactly happened and everything. But I think the manager had his reasons, whether we disagree with them or agree with them, he had his reasons. And I think Man United is in such a horrible place that you have to send some kind of message. You have to. He got rid of Sancho recently. I love Sancho. Sancho played on Dortmund. I'm happy he went right back to Dortmund as of right now. I hope he can find a way to, you know, permanently move there or get his game back to a place where he can start playing some football again. But the whole Ronaldo thing was hard for me because I have a Cristiano Ronaldo jersey. I had two actually, and he's an iconic player, an iconic number 7, which is a huge deal at, you know, with the likes of David Beckham and Cantona, you know, things like that, players like that, you know. But I'm with Ten Hag on this one. Even now, I'm with Ten Hag on everything that he does. It's hard for me to see it right now. I think the players are just
The players
not.
look bitter, by the way. I've seen some like pictures of them on the bench and stuff. They look bitter. And I'm like, how could you possibly like want to why would you even let them play at that point? At this point, just don't bench them if they're gonna have
They
bad
also don't have
attitudes.
any. They don't have any real leaders. You know, they don't have any real captains. A captain, people in the dressing room. You know,
Like,
people
who's the longest tenured guy on United?
as of right now.
Yeah.
mm, Shit, I want to say Bruno.
Jesus.
No, Rashford. Rashford.
I was gonna say Rashford, I
Rashford.
thought would be one of the longer ones, but
I think it's Rashford.
he can't be a voice in the locker room. It doesn't seem like that anyway, from what I've seen.
How
As
can he
far
be a
as
voice? He doesn't even. He can't even. See. You don't have to be the best player on the team, but you have to be able to lead by example,
Mhm.
right? And his attitude at times, especially when he's not playing well, is poor. And that goes with anything. You can't be a leader if you can't lead by example. You have to be able to lead by example. You have to be able to admit to your wrongs. Like these are good leaders, good traits of a leader, right? Rashford can't be a leader. There's no way. He can never be a leader. The fuck? No, I'm sorry. It's poor. His attitude is poor at times, especially when it's not going his way. I don't think even Bruno is not a good leader either. He's a horrible captain, in my opinion. He's a good player. I think he wouldn't start in any other United squad to be in any that Sir Alex had. He wouldn't start. Hell no. The fuck? You're talking about players like Scholesy, bro. He's not starting over Scholesy. There's no way.
and Mike, look at
Michael
Hoochie.
Carrick. No.
Look
I
at
know
Hoochie.
Hoochie is
We
just
lost Hoochie again.
he zones out. You know what? You know what? I'm glad, Hoochie. I'm glad you zoned out. Fuck you.
Everybody hates Hoochie. Another potential title of the episode.
No.
Hey,
Hoochie
man,
zones
I'm
out.
not one with soccer. I'll enjoy
Yeah.
watching it every now and then, but
Have you ever
You know,
given it a shot? At least I'm genuinely curious. Have you
I've
ever
tried.
given anything a
I've
shot?
tried. I've tried.
Okay. See, I was like that for a long time. That's why I only ever watched the World Cup, because there was like, the World Stakes brought me to the game where it's like, oh, I want to see USA win, when they were fucking ass for several years.
I remember watching them in, what was it, 2014 with Jurgen Klinsmann as the HC.
Jerking.
They were awful, but
Dog shit.
yeah, I got a little more into it with the World Cup with this past World Cup. What was it, last year? or a year or so ago. But yeah, they got a good squad going, but trying to build it up, But yeah, I try to get more into it, but it's just
Yeah. Why don't you just watch the Premier League? The Premier League, there's multitude of different ways to watch it. Maybe like they have it on Peacock or for NBC. They have it on USA Network. Like there's so many ways you can watch it. Give it a shot. In my opinion.
I've tried, but it's just like there's just so much. There's like Premier League, and then there's a bunch of other stuff. And if you're not good there, then you get demoted. There's just so many soccer leagues over in Europe. It's hard to keep track of it.
Well, let's be fair. Only the shit teams get demoted. I mean, look at fucking what's. I'm trying to remember which one.
It's a little more complicated than that. Okay, it's a little more complicated than that.
I know it's a little more complicated than that, but I'm
not wrong. But it's a little more complicated than that. The shit teams. Yeah, not everybody. It's hard. Listen. You gotta have money to be good. They're very good. There are very few teams that can just, like the teams that can build good players, like Ajax and Barcelona, La Masia. But even then, they haven't really put anybody out recently that's good. But most teams buy players.
I mean, I was talking. What was it? One of the first times I did a show with my boys, the boys over at Wait What. One of the things I said to them was, I think soccer contracts are astronomically bigger than most U.S. sports contracts. Now, granted, last couple of years and some of these contracts that have dropped, like in baseball specifically, are insane. But most of the time, football or soccer has the money to pay people what they want.
I mean, it's the most popular sport in the world, so of course.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Saudi League. I mean, how many people went to the Saudi League? I mean, Ronaldo's killing it over there.
Well, that's because he's Ronaldo.
No, that's just Ronaldo. And then what was it? And then Jordan Henderson, from a former Liverpool captain, he actually just left Saudi because he hated it over there. I forgot where he signed. He just signed somewhere.
People went over there, Benzema too. People went over there chasing the money. Not realize you got to live that life over there too. You got to respect their culture. You ain't gonna go to them and not respect. And I'm with that wherever you go to live. People they have that problem here in Germany. Germany right now is having an issue where they're
having a lot of issues from what I've seen. I mean, you're still having that farmer strike.
That's over. But they
finally finished that.
The AFD, which is equivalent to like Republicans at the moment. Some of their thinking. They talk about they want foreigners to leave Germany, right? Which would mean I would have to leave too. If you're not 100% German, you got to go. Half Germans, they want everybody to go.
You feel some type of way about that?
I think it's foolishness. First of all, I don't ever think it'll come to pass. Second of all, and this is just the perspective of a Panamanian American-born man that's lived in a few different countries. If Germany were to kick out all foreigners, the only cool thing about Germany would be here in Bayern, the beauty of Germany, because Germany is beautiful, and Oktoberfest and the beer. Other than that,
and Christmas.
If Germany just Christmas.
Oh, come on. You love the Christmas market shit. You've talked about it all the time.
Christmas market's great for like a day or two.
Then it's just annoying. It's an eyesore.
I mean, I like Christmas in Germany. Don't get me wrong. Christmas market, I'm good. Like I haven't the Glühwein, I have a bottle of it right over there, and I haven't even finished drinking it. It's halfway.
You also don't drink. So
yeah, I haven't been drinking. I have a lot of alcohol that's just sitting over there, and I'm not drinking.
Send it to me. That shit'll go in a month, I hope.
Yeah, you shouldn't drink that much. Your liver will thank you. But Hoochie,
these are the years to train it, Mike.
Yeah, fuck that. I have a ball, bro. Fuck that. Enjoy it. But how Hoochie feels when we speak about football is exactly how it feels when he gets into NASCAR. I'm lost. Exactly how Every time he gets in a NASCAR, well, just zone out for like the 2 or 3 minutes that he's gonna talk about it. Because I don't know shit. I couldn't even tell you not one person, not one. And I know there's a good one. He's a light skinned fella. He's a light skinned nigga. I know there's one, right? What's his name? What's his name?
What was it? Bubba Watson, I think his name is. That his
No,
name,
but that's the
they're
golfer.
the golf guy.
That's the golfer.
That's the golf guy.
Oh no.
Wallace.
Bubba Wallace. Yeah.
There you go.
I was
See,
thinking
know
those two confused.
That's about all I know about the sport. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't find it. I've heard going to a NASCAR race is more exciting than actually watching it on TV.
Oh, 100%.
With all due respect, Hoochie, watching it on TV is very boring for me. Like I'll flip through channels and I'll watch it for maybe 5 minutes, and I'm like, I want to be there. I want to feel. I'd
rather watch Formula One.
Now, is that because of like their Netflix series, Drive to Survive?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know they had that. See,
I
didn't.
That's kind of the reason why Formula One was kind of blowing up in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. You, gentlemen, let me give you not that I know anything about picking up women, but if you want to pick up some women, get into Formula One. I'm seeing a lot of these women on dating apps saying they love Formula One.
Hey,
do it.
Red Bull, I'm in. What's good? If you like Red Bull, what's up? Verstappen's the GOAT.
So no picking up women for me. So I will pass.
But
you're a taken man.
That's kind of why Formula One's kind of blowing up in the US, because of their Drive to Survive series, which it's like in-depth look at F1 and then behind the scenes of like the different teams and drivers and what goes on with them. Well, NASCAR is doing something similar with Netflix. It's I don't know what it's called, but it's coming out later this month. And it's going to highlight, last season and their playoff run. And I think it's a step in the right direction because, yeah, like you said, the only person Mike and Matt, half his name, but Bubba Wallace. And that's because of the whole noose thing that happened years ago.
Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. still a thing?
Oh, he's been retired.
He's retired, but he's calling races.
See? Now here's a question, and maybe you can help me. What exactly do you find entertaining about NASCAR?
It's something different, definitely on that level. Like I got into it because my grandparents were into it, and they were big Dale Senior fans. And then when he died, they became junior fans, and that's how I became a junior fan. And I don't know, something about it's just captivating of watching a car go around in circles like 200 miles an hour. It's something. I don't know why I got hooked on it, but it's just something different about it where it's like, oh, this is so much fun, and it's probably the longest series in American sports, because football, you got NFL from September, and if your team's good enough, all the way up to February. Well, NASCAR, they start in February and they go all the way to November, because they do one race every Sunday or so, it seems like, but their off seasons are very short, but the season's very long. But if you're like a true diehard fan, it'll go by in an instance where you'll be like, oh man, it's already April. Oh my God, we're in the summertime. Oh my God, the season's almost over. But yeah, like you mentioned, NASCAR has an identity problem with the names of the drivers, like Ryan Blaney. No one knows who Ryan Blaney is, but he just won the championship for the Cup Series. Names from the past, like, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr. Yeah. Yep. All those names, they're long gone. They're retired.
But that's also a marketing problem too.
Yes.
Like they don't market these guys. The NHL has the exact same problem. People I always see all the time talk about how the NHL has a
exactly. No. And I used to maybe that's because I haven't been around hockey since I stopped playing. And no one I know really likes hockey over here. So, I have a lot of friends that are, I have friends that are Rangers fans. I have friends that are Devils fans. Me, of course, I'm a Flyers fan. So, but I can't name you not one person. I think I just like the Flyers because they're in Philly, to be honest.
So you're bandwagoning is what you're saying.
No, I'm sticking with Philly. I like Philly everything. and whatever team LeBron James is on. That's what I tell everybody. Who's sports music?
At least you admit it. At
every
least you
team
admit it.
Philly and whatever team LeBron James is on. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go. So, but I don't know. I haven't known anything about hockey since Giroux. I think his name was
Claude Giroux. Yeah.
That's the last time
That's probably the only name guy I can name who's a former Flyers player.
I know a
That's
little
it.
bit.
Drew.
Who is this guy? Lundqvist?
Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik Lundqvist,
The goalie.
Rangers?
former Rangers goalie. Yes,
Yeah.
legend.
What was this Canadian guy's name? Martin Brodeur?
Rodor,
Yep.
yeah.
See,
Do you know who Sidney Crosby is?
who the fuck doesn't know who Sidney Crosby is?
I was going to make. I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. Fuck you, by the way, Hoochie.
Hey, don't disrespect the GOAT, okay?
The goat my ass, please.
Yeah,
That's Gretzky to you, motherfucker.
that's my GOAT. It's my GOAT.
Listen,
I grew up
listen,
with Crosby.
Crosby. Nice now.
Listen, I hate the motherfucker, but he's good, okay?
I mean-
there's a difference between acknowledging that he's good and then hating the motherfucker just because he's you fucking
Who's your
hate him.
best player? Lemieux? Is that what was his name? Lemieux, right? Something like that.
Me or Hunter?
You,
Me?
Lemieux.
Our best player? No. I think right now it's
No, all ever.
ever. Oh shit. Oh
Lemieux.
man.
Wasn't that one of them? I don't know.
Mario
No.
Lemieux.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it is Lemieux.
He was also a Penguin.
See,
Him
I
and
know-
Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, Yager was. Well, Yager's just fucking. He's the OG of anything at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what team he plays for. I love Yager, but
Also,
See,
best
I want-
goalie of all time, Marc-Andre Fleury.
we respect. We in this house we respect Marc-Andre Fleury as well.
See, this is what I want people to know. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, Panama is well-rounded. I'm a well-rounded person. I'd like to tell people that I know a little bit about a lot of different shit because I like to be able to talk to whoever about anything. And if I don't know enough about it, teach me something. I like to learn. I'm always like, I don't.
Like Bubba Wallace.
Listen, it's hard for me to get into. It's gonna be hard to get into NASCAR. I've tried many times.
I'll give a recommended driver to follow up on. His name is Ross Chastain. Okay, so he's got an aggressive racing style. Kind of what? You don't like him?
Ross Chastain. He sounds like a pedo. I don't like
No,
the name.
no. Do you remember that? You remember that move from a year ago where he rode the wall around and gained like 10 spots in one corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Well, listen. You know why? Because Rob Chastain sounds like chastity, which associates. He sounds like a pedo, bro.
He's
He
an
sounds
eighth generation watermelon farmer, and
He
after
got a
every
long nose too. Oh, he got a long nose.
oh man, listen.
He
He's
sounds like long nose mother. Does he have a mullet too?
no.
No. Buzz cut. Rob Chastain, the pedo. I'm telling you, he probably drives a Ford. Who does he race for?
Races for Trackhouse, Team Trackhouse, which is co-owned by Pitbull.
Okay, and who does
Mr. Worldwide owns that shit.
Yep.
Damn. The hell? What doesn't Pitbull do?
What kind of car does he drive?
Drives a Chevrolet Camaro ZL1.
Damn, see? But American. See, I was close. He's a pedo.
Yeah.
No, I'm
What?
good. I'm good.
No.
Thank you.
No, he's a driver that I would recommend if you're not watching to keep an
Give
eye
me
on.
somebody with a cooler name. See, like Bubba Wallace is a cool name.
There's I just said the Cup champion Ryan Blaney. His dad was a racer, and then Blaney, yeah.
You sound weak.
Mike just has something to say.
You know what?
Everybody.
You know what? Ty Gibbs,
See, that sound. There you go. Thank you.
grandson of Hall of Fame head coach Joe Gibbs.
Okay, boom.
Oh, now
Racing-
we got Mike someone to follow on NASCAR now.
Ty Gibbs. All right, I'm gonna fucking ride with Ty Gibbs. Okay.
Oh yeah, I actually
Cool.
had a picture with him a couple days, or not a couple days. It was back in 2022 where he was in like one of the lower series, and he was on the pit box. Took a picture with him, And then he made his impromptu Cup debut the following day because Kurt Busch had an accident in qualifying and he was in concussion protocol, so he couldn't race. Gibbs was literally up at 1 a.m. doing like simulator stuff for the Cup car because he's never been in a Cup car, then flew up to Pocono and raced that same day. So it was a little cool, but yeah. Also, races. I know that, most of them are boring. Next month, Daytona 500. It's a gigantic racetrack, 2.5 miles, 3 wide racing. It's the Super Bowl of NASCAR, as overused as it is. That's the one race I would recommend to watch throughout the year.
Why is the Daytona 500 not the last race of the season for the championship? Why is that? I'm genuinely curious. I never understood why it's so early in the season. It's like the biggest race and it's not the race.
Probably because it's more like an even level playing field now, and especially back in the day, like 1979 Daytona 500, probably the most popular one because of the crash between I forget who it was. It was Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison or Bobby Allison. They were battling for the win on the last lap. They both wrecked. Richard Petty went on the win, and then both of them are fighting in the infield, and then one of the other Allison brothers joins in and like tries to break it up. And it's because that race was so well viewed because most of the Northeast was snowed in. That was kind of like, hey, baby, this NASCAR stuff's pretty good. They're fighting and they're going fast and they're turning left. I like this. It was the first.
They're crashing into each other. Goddamn, I gotta watch this shit more. Woo!
That was kind of where it took off because it was the first live televised Daytona 500. And I guess that's where it's kind of stuck in. But now over the years, it's known as super speedway racing, where like almost all the cars are on the even level playing field. Like guys have like low funded equipment. They can contend for the win because they're all in this pack racing and they can easily get to the front. Whereas like, you go to a short track or you go to a place like Pocono, the top guys that race for like, Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick Motorsports, they're going to be up front. So it's kind of like an even level playing field. And some of the smaller teams have a shot at winning the Daytona 500, which that has happened in the past. So yeah, that's the one race I would recommend to watch, and it's next month, the Daytona 500.
Super speedway racing. That don't even sound fun.
It just sounds unseasoned.
I'm glad you said it.
No, it's fun. If
I'm being honest, Hunter, like I'm just being honest. Like I appreciate you.
Welcome to the super speedway racing. Make sure you get your Budweiser and your coolers
and your cigarettes. Don't forget the cigarettes.
And don't forget that your mother's your sister.
Shout out Luann. Oh my God. I think that's a good way to wrap up the show, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
This was a good one, man. I like this episode. It's nice to be real for once instead of just focusing on topics every time, but talk about our interests shit. So I appreciate the fact that everybody's here today on episode 68. Follow us on your favorite podcasting platforms like Apple, Spotify, the Good Pods app, which I don't know if you saw the screenshot I put in the chat earlier this week, guys. We're apparently number one on Black podcasts, allegedly, because their ranking systems are a little wonky. But the Bromigos podcast is ranked number one for Black podcasts somehow.
Niggas.
What just... I'm glad he said it. Oh, man. You can also follow us on Twitter at Bromigos Pod, Instagram and Facebook, The Bromigos Pod, TikTok, The Bromigos Podcast. YouTube is a bit of a funny story, guys. We hit 100 subscribers last week, and we appreciate everybody for rocking with us on there, watching the videos, the shorts, all the goofy shit that we post. Some people like to try and clown us in the comments section, but all you're doing is helping us in the algorithm. So thanks. Subscribe to the YouTube, or Hoochie Man's going to hate you.
That's only if you're a woman.
Only if you're a woman. If you're a woman and you don't subscribe to the YouTube, Hoochie Man.
If you're a guy, I'll hate you if you talk badly about TJ Watt.
What is your obsession with him, too?
Look, he's got better stats than Myles Garrett. I don't know why, but PFF, Pro Football Focus, it's not Pittsburgh fucking football. I don't know if Dante said that, but
Dante said, I wouldn't know. I don't know
It's
what that
pro
shit is.
football focus. It's a bunch of stooges who think they know shit about football, but they don't know shit about fuck.
Good to know. And
Their
last but
opinions.
not least, Full Swap Radio, Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Mike, what were you going to say?
Nothing. Your opinions. Fuck you, Hoochie.
Fuck you, Hoochie. We're out. See you guys next week.
Peace.
You've been listening to the Bromigos podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.